Yo guys, Jonathan here with an unboxing of the iPhone XS and XS Max. So on the left is the iPhone XS Max, which I still really badly want to call the iPhone XS Plus. Hopefully I'll get used to that soon. And on the right is the iPhone XS. If this happens to be your first iPhone unboxing you've ever watched on YouTube, before we get to the phones, we got to get to the boring stuff, the paperwork. But on the positive side, with that paperwork comes those highly sought after Apple stickers. And if you're thinking to yourself, do I get max size Apple stickers with the iPhone XS Max? Nope, they are exactly the same. Pause for iPhone unboxing ASMR. So no doubt in hand, the iPhone XS is a hefty boy. It's a big phone. Personally, I've always thought the 5.8-inch form factor on the 10, or in this case, the iPhone XS, was the perfect size, but honestly, I'm a little tempted with that XS Max. Now, for some strange reason, the location of the earpods and the power brick inside the XS and XS Max box are reversed, and I have no idea why. If you have any guesses, let me know with a comment down below. In the box, for whatever reason, Apple does not include a USB-C to Lightning fast charging option with the iPhone, which is kind of crazy. I think last year we kind of accepted it and sucked it up with the iPhone X, but this year there's not really an excuse, especially with how expensive these phones are, specifically the iPhone XS Max, which is insane. Also, what you notice is on the flip side of these earpods used to be a Lightning to headphone adapter, but that is also missing on this year's iPhone. Now, what would an unboxing be without a chance to win your own brand new iPhone XS or XS Max, your choice? It'll also be wrapped in this beautiful skin from Dbrand, which just dropped like today. So for details on how to win, make sure you guys check out the link below. And if you're feeling extra awesome, make sure you guys drop a like and turn on notifications. Now, the setup process for me was pretty quick, especially if you're coming from another iPhone. It's very similar to setting up an Apple Watch, and definitely props to Apple for making this process super seamless. So here's a closer look at that notchless wallpaper on the XS and XS Max. There's 3 of these, and I guarantee by now there's going to be download links everywhere, so if you want to hide the wallpaper on your 10, you can do that as well. But I think out of all the wallpapers on iOS 12, this one here is definitely my favorite. Now internally, both the iPhone XS Max and XS are rocking the same A12 Bionic Chip, so the big difference here between these two is going to be screen size and battery life. The iPhone XS features a 5.8-inch display, whereas the iPhone XS Max features a much larger 6.5-inch display, which is massive. With the iPhone XS Max having a bigger display, naturally you get more resolution, but because of the size, the pixel density is exactly the same. Now with the iPhone XS Max alongside the bigger screen, you're also getting better battery life. Stacked side by side against the iPhone X, the iPhone XS Max is supposed to get you about an hour and a half more battery life, and based off these initial tests, that's pretty accurate. Now with these unboxings and first impressions, one of the things you're going to see most is the obligatory Geekbench test, which might be a little confusing. On the left is the iPhone X, and on the right is the iPhone XS, which really isn't that big of a difference. What's going on here is there's really only about a 10 to 15% increase in terms of CPU performance, where the big gains happen are actually in the GPU. Now, if you happen to run a GPU-based benchmark like the compute section of Geekbench, that's where you'll see the big difference with the XS compared to the iPhone X. The iPhone XS in this case scored 21,524, whereas with the iPhone X, that is 14,964, so it's a pretty substantial jump. Same thing with the Antutu Benchmark, which takes forever, like this was me, but with the iPhone XS you can see we got a score of 318,838 compared to 241,428 on the iPhone X, so again, when we're testing GPU, the iPhone XS is a pretty big jump. Now this is an S upgrade, so aesthetically it looks identical to the iPhone X aside from the brand new gold color and also obviously the bigger XS Max. Now with the iPhone XS and XS Max comes iOS 12 out of the box. And honestly, one of the biggest improvements was a fix to how you used to stupidly close apps on iOS 11 and the iPhone X. Now you simply swipe away and they are gone. So on top of the unboxing, this is kind of my first 24 to 48 hour impressions with the iPhone XS and XS Max. Naturally from there, I wanted to set up Face ID, which is supposed to be faster this year. I kind of wanted to mix it up and go outside to where it's more of a darker environment, set up Face ID with the hat on, kind of give it a little bit of a challenge to see how it would react. And honestly, it was super fast, seamless, and I was done in no time. Now, is it faster? Yeah, but I'm not going to say it's going to make your iPhone 10 feel slow, but without a doubt, it is noticeably zippy. And in this case, you can see where it's not really well lit, it is working perfectly. Now, while we're on that front-facing camera in iOS 12 and Memoji and Animoji, you can now, of course, detect your tongue. What I was most excited for, though, was to test out those rear-facing cameras and the newer portrait mode. So with the iPhone XS and XS Max, they have the exact same dual 12-megapixel camera. What I see a lot in the comments is a wish for a true nighttime or low light test of these phones. So we were out there, it was dark, I figured this would be the perfect time to test it. In this case here, it was just a regular low light shot, no portrait mode, and I gotta say, based off these lighting conditions, it was a really impressive shot. Now from there, one of the things I was most excited to check out was the improved portrait mode and the ability to adjust that blur after the fact. Now, yeah, it's not new. We've seen it on smartphones before, but the way Apple's doing it is a little bit different. Now, what you got to pay attention to, it's not just the blur that's changing. Like, we're not just increasing the overall blur in the image. It's actually how the image reacts to that aperture change. The bokeh in the background actually behaves more like it would on a real lens. So as we open up the lens, the bokeh balls actually get bigger, which is really impressive. This shot here in particular, even though there's a little bit of grain because of the lighting situation, really impressed me. I think this is where most phones tend to fall apart, but it held up pretty well altogether. Now from there, what I was also really excited to check out was the portrait selfie on the iPhone XS, because last year, one, it hated my ears, and two, overall, just really wasn't that good. Now right away, even in this low light situation, it is already miles better than the iPhone X. You can see one, it doesn't hate my ears, and two, the adjustable aperture even on the front facing camera works really well. Like I mentioned with the rear facing camera, as we kind of virtually open up the aperture, the way the bokeh reacts is really impressive. Now I'm not going to say that the iPhone XS camera is reason enough to upgrade over the 10, but based off these initial impressions, there's a pretty big difference, specifically just on selfie mode alone. Aside from that, I've really enjoyed using the iPhone XS Max. That screen size is awesome. I think that's what I'll be using for my full review, which is dropping very soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, for a chance to win your own iPhone XS or XS Max with that sweet D-brand skin, check out the details down below, and I'll catch you guys later.